How, yeah, and I'm Constituent Services Manager, so my role is to work with individuals on any issues they may have with the federal agency. When it comes to legislation, that's not my forte. That is our fearless leader, Alan Yamamoto, and also our legislative staff in DC. So Alan couldn't make it here today. He had the senator had another meeting that was scheduled, so she's not here in the office right now. But Alan did say that he's going to try and work something out so that this group can meet with the senator.
During this visit, do you know, he was sort of unclear. We'd like to do it this week.
Yeah.
I'll let him know.
Thanks.
If this group could gather again.
We can gather.
We can.
Yeah, we definitely can.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay.
So we have some issues with all of the Russia stuff that's happening right now. We want to know, I know you said you don't know legislative, but we still want to know if you know anything on legislative action that she's planning on doing to try to spur these investigations. And our concerns are that these are going to be investigations with closed committees that are not open to the public. And there's already been so much corruption that has come about that we don't trust that. So we want to know specific action that's happening with that, and that they will make sure that Sessions recuses himself from that investigation.
And did you share the email and the letter that
I shared some of it, and I got everybody's info so I can share it today. But I told them about it as we were coming in, that I did hear from Alan, and that the senator has signed on to a lot of things. And I think our message today is, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
What now?
Yeah.
Because you know, we drew the analogy of going on a diet. It's great to say, you know, I've signed up for Weight Watchers and I'm gonna lose that 40 pounds, but we want to see the weight falling off.
Yeah. Good one. Okay.
Yeah, in the form of Dannon, we would like to.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
180 unsightly pounds.
So we were just in Shop's office, and he was saying that the wording in S-291 is probably not going to make it to a vote. And I know Mazie did co-sign that. Is she working with Shots on his other bill that he is coming up with to try to do different wording that will pass, that'll get banned out of the National Security Council?
I don't know the answer to that,
Okay.
but we'll get back to you.
I have a constituent service related question. We were just talking in Shots' office about the situation for people who are in the country illegally, particularly of course in Hawaii, where there's lots of people with problematic paperwork, if any. And what are you all prepared to do for our friends, neighbors, relatives, the people we feel we might have to hide in our attics if we have attics, that kind of thing? How is this affecting your the fear about the immigration situation affecting your work?
For my work specifically, we've gotten many calls. I mean, all of our immigration cases are just fearful and wanting to resolve their issues, you know, as soon as possible. But even then, what does that mean? And you know, we have dreamers. We have those who are protected by DACA, who are really fearful because they're registered.
Right.
They've you know they've trusted in the process, and now it's exposed them entirely. So the senator is very concerned about that, and she sits on the Judiciary Committee, and so that oversees immigration. So she is personally involved in that as well.
So my understanding of constituent service, thank you, is that, I mean, I've had some experience with that, and usually some magic thread gets pulled and grandma's social security check gets burped out when it was lost before, something like that. And I've seen some pretty amazing stuff happen, but do you have any magic threads as far as immigration goes for people in Hawaii?
No magic threads, but we have a really good congressional liaison at the immigration office here. And then we have congressional liaisons at all of the embassies and the National Visa Center and all of the points that are involved in the immigration process.
So one thing I think that the senator could do would be to make it better known, because you know, if you have like savvy family who says, oh, you know, uncle, he was never legal and we don't want to see him go, that's one thing if they're like integrated into the community and people are going to bat for them. But there's a lot of people hiding. And having her make a clear statement of welcome and support for helping people maintain healthy family lives and so on, I think might really be helpful to people who are afraid right now, and that's something you could be involved in maybe, huh?
Okay, thank you.
That would also fit well. Hawaii HA20 is trying to push for sanctuary city, sanctuary state,
Mhm.
and we feel very strongly about that. So a statement from the senator would be
Awesome.
hugely helpful.
And Hawaii is, no state in the country, I think, understands inclusivity
Mhm.
and the
Mhm.
fabric of an immigrant community the way
Yeah.
Hawaii does.
Yeah.
And this is one issue where she could be a uniquely positioned leader
Yeah.
and voice
Yeah, as an
within the
immigrant
party.
herself.
As an
especially.
immigrant herself,
Yep.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, that's great, thank you.
I wanted to bring the conversation back to Bannon. We were just in Senator Schatz's office, and he said there may be limits to what he could do legislatively, but that the key thing was to apply political pressure. So I would like to see Senator Hirono step forward publicly and forcefully apply the political pressure to get Steve Bannon off the National Security Council.
Do you know where she stands on that?
Yeah.
I have that letter that
Yeah.
Alan forwarded to you.
Right. Is she doing anything else, however?
You know, I'm not privy to that,
Okay.
and I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, it's okay. And I emailed Alan back, and I sort of asked that, so maybe I'll hear back from him. I know he's busy.
Okay. Is that shared with the rest of the group?
It will be
here?
to, when I hear back from
We
him
have a
today.
bunch of new
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's more than one group here. too.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
I
should
mean,
be aware, we
yeah.
represent,
This is not one
yeah, we
group.
haven't really
Over
shared that with you.
1,000
We
people.
represent 4 or 5, 6 different groups,
Mhm.
and there's no real leader. I mean, I organize and herd, Leanne
So
organizes
the
and herd,
shepherd. Yeah.
she organizes and
Yeah.
herd, as does, and there are a bunch of different groups here.
Mhm.
But collectively, we're somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 voices, and it's
That's great.
growing every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And what are the groups? Are they on the website? Is
Well,
Well, there's
no
J20.
There's J20, there's Women's March, there's
Indivisible.
Indivisible.
A couple of indivisible
Yeah,
groups.
Two
couple
different
of
indivisible
groups.
groups.
My
Windward
favorite
Resisters.
is Windward Resisters.
Resisters.
R-E-S-I-S-T-E-R-S, Re-Sisters,
Re Sister?
like
Yep.
resistors, but they're
Re-sisters.
resistors. They have the hats on back here.
Yeah.
And then I've got a Move On, Resist Trump Tuesday group. So there's probably 6 or 8 when you really,
Yeah, and it
Start
keeps
parsing
growing
it.
because people keep on getting concerned with every CNN alert that terrifies them.
who did you say? Who said?
He said
World
World
Can't Wait.
World can't
World
wait.
Can't
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
And AAUW.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
AAUW.
AAUW sent somebody today as well.
So it's not like we are one little group, it's sort of a
Yeah.
combination of all the different voices
Mhm.
who wanna come in and talk with you, and I think it's fair to say that it's kind of a, 51-49, 60-40 strategy with you and Brian. We appreciate so much of what you're doing, and yet we're gonna push you to do more and more and
Good.
more.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, this is an incredibly articulate group, very impressive. And the senator appreciates that. She appreciates having that.
Well, we appreciated seeing her go from not being sure she was gonna stick her head up and oppose a lot of nominees to suddenly
Yeah,
tweeting about the
Yeah,
swamp
that's-
cabinet and
that's
taking phone
wonderful.
calls herself.
that
Wow.
really gave a lot of hope to people
Oh, good.
that are our constituents,
Very
and even people that aren't.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, even
What's
my
a-
dad in Oregon is like, good for you guys.
Can you tell us, she doesn't have a lot of public events on her schedule this week, she does have the AARP event, right?
Mm-hmm.
When is that gonna be held?
Oh, she's not at that, is she?
No,
Colleen is
there's
at
Oh,
that, I'm
that one.
sorry,
Yeah.
Does
So
she
she's
have
hosting that,
anything?
No, I know she'll be on Maui on Friday, but no public
How about
events.
telling her we want one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what she's here for.
Yeah.
That's this,
We
that's
would
what
be
this
happy
week
to
is for.
organize like
Yeah.
a venue and just invite her to come speak, so it helps,
Absolutely. Yeah, we could get a
ease
big
the
crowd.
logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
If you or Colleen
Yeah.
can let me know a time slot, we can
Okay.
take it from there.
We wanna be like the wind beneath her wings, so she shouldn't be nervous, she shouldn't be afraid.
Yeah.
We're thumbs up, we like her.
Yeah,
Yeah. But we're gonna push, and we're gonna ask a lot of
That's good.
questions.
All
Yeah.
different groups together are starting to use something called the Resistance Calendar that was rolled out by Michael Moore recently. And we're all starting to put our events on that, and when we find out that one of our electeds is having a public event, we'll put that on there, and we'll specify whether or not the staff is gonna be representing, or if the actual elected official will be there. And that is kind of the central place now, so if after a while Mazie's not showing up on there, I think you're gonna get more and more and more pressure from a group like this.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and if
right
she's
now,
only
as
here
people
this
have said,
week,
it's a friendly group,
Mhm.
we're still pushing,
No, that's good.
but we're not storming the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. some of those town hall meetings.
Yeah.
Republican states.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also wanna just, toss a hat in the ring on ACA. That's going to come around the bend faster than we're ready for, I think, and you got a lot of pre-existing conditions, a lot of babies, a lot of, people who depend on ACA,
Yes.
and we expect her to stand strong on that.
And she will, because she was the only one who's in office, right? Oh, no, Congresswoman Hanabusa was also in office when ACA passed. Yeah, so good to have her back.
Yeah.
But yeah, she went through the fire to get it passed, and she believes in it.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Good.
One last quick question, and then we'll leave you be, because we've got, we're going to see Tulsi as well, and we overstayed our welcome with Brian. The SCOTUS nominee, has she taken a position, and, if so, what is it? I got in Alan's email that she has a lot of issues with some of the things he said.
Yeah, so I don't know what
But I-
she's decided, because she wanted him to be independent.
Yeah.
So,
Will you let her know that
Yeah.
we wanna see her opposing? And obviously the remaining nominees that still are coming down the pipe. Cabinet nominees.
Yes.
Anything else? I've talked too
Did we
much.
talk
Anybody?
about investigation into the Russians? Is that how you started off?
Yeah, but
Okay.
she doesn't have, information on it yet.
Well, it's just that, let it be, you could put
Yeah.
it down
Yes.
twice, that this is a big deal.
Yeah.
If there's
Absolutely.
criminal activity
It-
and,
It has to be investigated, and it has to be open and transparent.
And those investigations have to focus on what might have happened, not the fact that the information was leaked.
Yeah.
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 Which is
Yeah.
the thing that's been trending among Republican investigations so
Yeah.
far.
You
Well,
know,
we
one
hope
of
we
the
can
things
talk to her
Brian
this
said too that I think is really important, and I would just underline it for her as well. He said the media is starting to do its job and doing it well, and I think he didn't say this, but I'm thinking, he's thinking about the New York Times and Washington Post specifically. I think it's really important for people like the senator to counter this fake news BS. I mean, there is fake news, but it's not coming from quote unquote the failing New York Times or the Washington Post or CNN, and I think it's important to counter that because it becomes a narrative.
Yeah, encouraging people to use established news sources. And any website they don't recognize or know who's speaking, they should discount. And I don't know who's gonna speak out and say that.
Well, I thought it was important that Brian just said it.
Yeah.
He didn't have to say that, but he did, and I think it's a nice tee up for her to follow suit on.
Yeah,
You know, on a related issue about, I guess corruption, there's the ethics questions about Trump, and I think there's a Senate bill, Presidential Conflict of Interest Act, it's Senate 65. It wouldn't just require tax returns to be disclosed, but also, divestiture of any conflicting interests. And I'm not sure whether that has a chance of passing or not. But I guess I'd like to know what she thinks about it, or if she has any, that or any other strategies on that issue.
well, and in the same vein about the ethics of, supporting, business trips for his family, overseas. I mean, when do we cut them off? When do we say we can't, this is just unacceptable. And I'm thinking about, a lot of, when there's, revolutions, people stop paying their taxes. And I feel like, I can pay my state taxes, but it's about time that we say, you know what, if we don't know if he's paid taxes, why should we do it? You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been told that smart people don't pay their taxes.
Yeah. I'll pay my state taxes, but there's gonna be a lot of resistance coming up for February 14th on tax day. There's rallies that are planned, and you know what? I just like to put that little bug in everybody's ear. I mean, what can they do to us, huh?
Yeah.
Love this group.
All right.
Thank
We
you
will
so
let you
much.
go for now. Thank you, and let's stay in touch.
Good to see